It's time for a new learning goal. EE4b says, I can solve word problems by setting up and solving an equation. So we took a little bit of time off from word problems, but not very much. We're going to be solving problems similar to the ones that we solved last week. The difference being now we're going to be setting up an equation and solving it. Alright, so here's a problem. The perimeter of the triangle is 27 yards. What are the lengths of the sides? Remember that perimeter is a geometry term. And in order to solve this equation, we need to know that perimeter is the length of all the sides added together. So we don't have numbers given for the sides, but we have variable representations for the sides. The problem says that this side is equal to x, this side is equal to x minus 2, and this side is equal to x plus 2. So if we think about what perimeter means, the side plus the side plus the side equals 27. Don't run out of room. That's a 27. Okay, so let's plug in what it says for side, side, and side. X minus 2. Oops. X minus 2. X plus 2 and x equals 27. Now how do I solve for x when there's all those x's? Oh, it's that little thing we did called combine like terms. We have to combine like terms before we can solve. So if we're looking for like terms, I've got an x and an x and an x, which altogether makes 3x, and I've got a minus 2 plus 2. What is that going to do to each other? Minus 2 plus 2 just cancels. So now I'm going to, well, that's going to be ugly if I keep trying to squeeze that 27 on the side, so I apologize. I'm going to recopy down the equals 27 part. And now I just have 3x equals 27. So I just have a simple one-step equation. 3 times x equals 27. How do I undo multiplication? By dividing both sides by the coefficient. Divide both sides by 3. What's left is x equals 9. Now, in a case like this, to check, we can plug it back into the picture. So let's do that. Let's plug it back into the picture. This would be 9 minus 2 equals 7. That's not the best color there. 9 minus 2 is 7, so this side here is 7 units. X by itself, this one is just 9. And x plus 2, 9 plus 2 is 11. And 9 plus 11 plus 7, 9 plus 11 is 20, plus 7 is 27. So 9 for x works to give us a perimeter of 27 for this triangle. This one says the length of a rectangle is 4 times its width. Its perimeter is 90 meters. Find its dimensions. Some things to be careful of in this problem. We're not given a picture this time, but I think that our best strategy is going to be to draw one. Here's my rectangle. The length is 4 times the width. So if we think of these as being width and length, and we know that the perimeter is equal to 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Remember that perimeter is just the distance all the way around. So this abbreviation 2L represents this side and this side. Plus 2W means this side and this side, which is this side times 2 plus this side times 2. The problem tells us that the length, this side here, is 4 times this. So we can change this L to a 4W, because 4W just means 4 times whatever the measurement W is. Obviously the rectangle is not drawn to scale. So now let's change our perimeter formula. And we're going to say that P equals, no, that's not what I wanted to do. Instead of writing 2L, I'm going to write 2 times what we substituted for L, which was 4W, plus 2W. And now, instead of writing P, what am I going to write? What did the problem tell me? The problem told me the perimeter is 90. So I'm going to change that P to a 90. I'm going to do some simplifying. 2 times 4 is 8W plus 2W. Now again, I've got like terms. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to solve this equation, but first I need to combine like terms. 8W plus 2W is 10W equals 90. How am I going to get that W by itself? Divide both sides by 10. And I end up with W equals 9. Again, these geometry problems like 9s. But let's be careful, because the problem didn't say what is W equal to. It said find its dimensions. So in other words, find its dimensions, we need to say, well, 9 equals W, so this side is 9 meters. It told us the perimeter was in meters. And so the width is 9 meters. The length is 4 times whatever the width is. So 4 times 9, the length is going to be 36 meters. So we used perimeter of a rectangle formula. We used the information that the problem gave us. Length is 4 times the width. The perimeter is 90. Set up an equation, combined like terms, and solve for the width. We got 9 for the width, and we used that to find the length of 36. We'll sign. Okay, this one says, in one season, Kim ran 18 races. This was 4 fewer than twice the number of races Colleen ran. How many races did Colleen run? So what we're trying to solve for, remember, the missing quantity is going to be our variable. So we look at the question, how many races did Colleen run? So we could use an R for race. We could use a C for Colleen. I think I'm going to go with an R for race. And now we need to look at the words in this problem. Kim ran 18 races. This was. Was is a good key word here. We talked about the word is as meaning equal sign. But was is just a past tense version of, or was is the past tense of is, right? So we're going to say was 18 or 18 was. We're going to use 18 equals. Now look at, this should remind you of when we were writing expressions. 4 fewer than twice the number of races. So 4 fewer means something minus 4, right? And twice means times 2. That's not, you can't really see what I'm writing there. So what do we do to this variable to get 18? Colleen's races times 2 minus 4, whatever number Colleen ran. Kim ran 18, which is 2 times that minus 4, or 4 less than twice the number of races Colleen ran. And now, setting up the equation is the hard part. Solving it should be easy. What's happening to R? It's being multiplied by 2, and then we subtract 4 from that quantity. So if we undo those steps in reverse order, we first need to undo plus 4, or minus 4 rather, by adding 4. Those cancel. 18 plus 4 is 22. Bring down the 2R. And then our last step to get r by itself, if it's being multiplied by 2, we undo that by dividing both sides of the equation by 2. And we are left with, I'm not leaving myself enough room at the bottom. We're left with r equals 11. And remember that r represented the number of races that Colleen ran. So we would say she ran, oh goodness, not my best handwriting, 11 races. I think my stylus is going bad, guys. I don't usually write that bad, do I? She ran 11 races is the answer to that. Okay, last one. Dr. Bell recommended that Sarah take 8 tablets on the first day and then 4 tablets each day until the prescription was used. The prescription contained 28 tablets. Find how many days Sarah will be taking the pills after the first day. Okay, after the first day. So this one I think is a little bit tricky. And I'll tell you, my first instinct when I saw this was to start with 28 and just keep subtracting. So if we're talking about what our strategy would be if we didn't have knowledge of equations, this would probably be it. It says that she was to take 8 on the first day, so that would leave 20. And then 4 each additional day. So if I just kept writing, not equals, if I just kept writing minus 4, 16, minus 4, 12, minus 4, 8, and then we'd have 4 and 0. And I just counted up how many things I subtracted away. That would tell me how many days. But that is no longer our strategy because now we have to set up and solve an equation. But I don't think it's a bad strategy if your instinct is to solve it that way, to use that as a way to check what you get when you set up and solve an equation. Okay, so the unknown here is days. How many days, and this is weird, after the first day. So the first day, she takes 8. Each additional day, she takes 4. Altogether, there are 28 pills in the bottle. So, if we set up an equation that says she takes 4 pills per day, 4 times the number of days after the first day that she takes the pills, plus the 8 from the first day, altogether, that should add up to 28. So again, 4D plus 8 represents 4 pills per day after the first day, plus the 8 from the first day, should add up to 28. So let's solve this two-step equation. What's happening to the variable? It's being multiplied by 4 and then having 8 added to it. So we undo in reverse order. We undo plus 8 with a minus 8 and a minus 8. That cancels. 28 minus 8 equals 20. And bring down 4D. Last step to get D by itself. We need to divide both sides by 4 to undo that times 4. And we end up with D equals 5. So the answer to this question is that after the first day, Sarah will be taking pills for 5 days. So a total of 6 days, but 5 days after the first day.